Hey guys, what's up? This is Krazak here, and welcome back once again to not just one base tour, not just two base tours, but three tours. But mainly all because they're in the same place and they're fairly short. This right here is the railway station for one of our underused areas of the game, of the map. I mean, I use it every once in a while, but you don't see a lot here. This is Newtown. And by association, the Newtown homes and stuff like that, portal that I built there, made the netherway there. And over there you can see that there is a base. So that's a hint at where we'll be going. Ironically enough, I'd already recorded them at this point, so of course I knew where we were going. But that's beside the point. As you see, there's not too much in Newtown, not too many houses. The houses that were here a lot of times were were griefed, or they were people who stole. But I'm actually a bit surprised that there's even anything left in chests made by people. Farms, like it honestly really surprises me that people left this place alone enough. And here is where I had a bit of a hint for an event that we had. For any of you who participated but did not actually get the answer, the whole entire thing eventually led you to a woodland mansion. In which case, a couple of our members were able to get it, and I don't remember who it was exactly that won it, but there were 3 totems or something like that distributed. Either way, this is a bit of an extreme hills biome, obviously. Snow everywhere, which, gold steps, leads right back to the house. But the extreme hills biome and, everything like that, the terrain was hard to traverse. People just didn't really want to live here. Frankly, I don't blame them. But at the same time, it would have been really cool to see someone do more with it. Down here, we had a bit of an area where it used to be a garden, things like that, but there used to be houses up there. But in the end, just it really didn't end up the way that I wish it could have. But yeah, this place was notoriously a hideout for hackers, unfortunately. There were a couple of people who moved in here, who built a house here. It's like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then weeks to months later, we find out, hey, you were hacking, and hacking is bannable. Usually it was just x-ray or stuff like that, but still, it's like, out here, just nobody comes out here. So ironically enough, they were fairly safe for a decent amount of time. However, that is enough about Newtown. Let's go ahead, let's move on to the base once we can see it. I'm sure we can see it over here. Yeah, difficult terrain to traverse, just made it so nobody wants to live here in the end. But yeah, over in that direction, but you can't really see it from here. Maybe? Yeah, you can. Alright, see you guys over there. Welcome back. As you can see, we've changed locations. This, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was Papa Stalin, and there was someone else. I wish I could remember. They've been on, but it's been several months, I think, since I've seen them. So honestly, it's a bit difficult to remember at times like that. But either way, fairly simple base. This was a base made near the end of the map, which was unfortunate because they really wish they could have done more with it. But at the same time, I mean, hey, what they had going really well for them. As you can see, it uses the new 1.12 blocks, so if that tells you anything, yeah, we definitely grew from just being between Newtown, between the next base. We definitely grew, but this was near the end of the server. I mean, not the server, the survival map. But yeah, fairly simple, pretty cool machines, stuff like that. Redstone lying around. I wish that I understood redstone more, but unfortunately I don't. Down here there is more. I honestly did not know how to work this machine, which is very unfortunate. Try it, and well, I apologize now. Because either your machine just didn't work, or something like that. Because I got stuck down there. I think I was probably the one doing something wrong, so honestly, it's probably more my fault than yours. But sorry about that. It'll be just fine in the world download. But either way, let's continue first with getting out of here. Yeah, there we go. Slime blocks. Man, it always upsets me when I break stuff like this. Man, yeah, I really broke stuff. Yeah, I can see now why it was just like why it was like that. Either way, into this cave part here. Once again, pretty plain and simple, but lots of good storage, lots of good design too. Like they had a very symmetrical design to it. Good storage, yeah. Ice and ice blocks, sugarcane. Is that redstone? Oh, hello? Ah, yeah, some of it is. Some other wood. And I don't know what that one was for, but because the shulker boxes were gone. But yeah, going down here, you could see that they definitely intended to expand, but just it couldn't happen in the end, primarily because the end of the map. So, again, we wish we could have done more. Like, I would have loved to do more on my base. Everyone else would have loved to do more, but at the same time, just when no one plays anymore, when there's nothing left to do, and the map's been up for definitely over a year, then yeah. Difficult to continue. I'm sorry to see. Would love to see more on this base. But let's head off to the next one. Surprisingly enough, down here had its own unique station. But it didn't take the railway here. This here is Samer's base. And from the looks of it, he is definitely 100% an explorer, a completionist. This was a guy that has been pretty good friends through the server. Like, he still is more active, but I can honestly say, got a lot of respect for the guy. He knows what he's doing, and if I can turn this map correct, there we go. You can see, just, the server was huge, and he probably would have expanded it to include my base, to include Biven's base, to include some of the other places that we're eventually going to explore, but not yet. I will work towards showing you guys, but that's gonna be a while. Particularly SK Town itself, just because that one is big, that one is laggy, and is going to take several parts and several recordings to actually get out. I might actually break the whole entire town into two different sections. But either way, you can see, Samer had quite the collection going. He also knew quite a bit about redstone. As you can see, this is a sugarcane farm. Probably not the best design out there. I mean, I've heard that there are more. I've seen that there are better ones. But for what it's worth, however, how massive this thing was, you can see it just goes on and on and on. And you begin to wonder, oh, how did you, just how, why? Oh well, the answer is probably more like why not. But either way, you can see just full of sugarcane, all the way up to there. Just 5 double chests full of sugarcane, plus what's in the hoppers, plus what's in the chest above. Yeah, this thing, even though it wasn't the fastest thing out there, was still extremely efficient and definitely helped with trading. But let's see. Does he have a door? I don't know. I'm actually not even sure I found out when I recorded this whether or not he had a door. Oh, yep. Never mind. He has a door. It's just hard to find. And there. It's weird that a creeper would spawn in here, because I'd think that he would light it up better, but not too big a deal. It's a nice place. Nice and simple, open concept. Enchanting setup. He has his balcony, which might even be a... Nah, that's more the launch pad. But yeah, where it starts getting really impressive is when you go downstairs. Which I mean, there's not so much more, but he had quite a good storage setup. He had it organized, he had it set up. Just, yeah, I wonder. And he still has a bunch of shulker boxes in there. I mean, hey, feel free to come get them. You know where your base is? If you're watching it, Samer, definitely feel free. But man, Golden Apple. Golden Apple and Notch Apple. He had probably the most achievements and advancements on the server by the end of it. I think he had How Did We Get Here? I think he had Furious Cocktail. He had an Uneasy Alliance. He had Adventuring Time. Just, yeah. This area here, we have villagers. Makes sense, plain and simple. But we have the doors here. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm thinking that there might not have been enough direct light on his villages. And if that's the case, then sorry. Yeah, your breeder was probably broken that way. I never found out what the purpose of this tunnel was, whether it was just he was expanding or not. But either way, he spent a lot of time exploring, a lot of time helping out. Pretty plain and simple base, but because we're in the area, we might as well explore. So, I'm glad you guys could come along for the journey. If you like what you see, then feel free to like, subscribe, or comment. Until next time, this is Krazak, signing out. See ya!